Christian, we have to talk.
You mean like white people?
What's wrong with that?
Well, they just talk a lot. You know, they do it differently than black people do. White people don't like to argue. They like to discuss. And they start throwing around all these big SAT words and putting a lot of emotional guilt on each other. It's just too much to deal with. I like it the black way, you know, where we curse each other out, we may fight, and then we get cool again, but we talk about each other behind each other's back.
What you not gonna do?
Oh, no, what you not gonna
what
do?
you not gonna
You're
do?
not about to knock me. Don't let me get to clapping, boo.
Oh, hell no.
See? That's communication.
First of all, thank you very much for your time.
Hey, thanks for having me.
First of all, my first question is, why to produce again? The produce, it's, I don't know, maybe some guys tell us that producing is like to play a god because you are making the decisions.
Yeah, you are as a producer. You're making the decisions, and for me, when I'm writing and I'm starring, I like to be able to make the decisions as a producer to put together my cast, to put together my crew of who's gonna help me tell the jokes. And that goes for everybody from my hair to the makeup to, you know, the visual effects to the special effects to, you know, you just wanna make sure that you're making the right decisions. And then when you get to the editing room, that you and your director sit there and you make these hard choices. And at the end of the day, I gotta trust my instincts and go, I think this will be funny. So it's all protecting the journey of making people laugh. And you do all that just to make sure your jokes work and that, because at the end of the day, all I want when I go in the back of a theater and I'm watching it, is to see people just laughing. That's all. I don't want people to think when they see my movie, I want them laughing. Think afterward, laugh.
Talking about laugh, obviously in comedy there are certain rules. There are some, one of them are you have to repeat the joke 3 times. Is that right?
No.
You can,
it's unconventional. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5. Sometimes you get that one joke and then you get out. And you know, audiences are different than they used to be. There was a time where you could keep milking a joke and they like it, right? Nowadays, we have a ADD generation. They want to see a joke, then what's next? They want to see a joke. Whereas, you know, the older crowd, we like to experience it and laugh and milk it, but the younger crowd wants you to hit it and go. It's weird. So you try and do a movie that has a little bit of everything, a little bit for everybody.
how do you know as a producer, and now, well, maybe in the future you can see you as a director, how do you know how many times do you repeat a joke?
Is it funny? Is it funny to me? And does it get funnier as we go? On the 3rd time, are you laughing hardest? Mm-hmm. On the 5th time, can you go a little bit more? And it depends on the audience too. You know, doing stand-up comedy, right? Mm-hmm. So I travel and I do stand-up. It helps me to know what joke is going to work where with what crowd. Mm-hmm. So it's you're constantly sampling what people enjoy, and that's why I do stand-up. You know, I don't just do it because it's for the money. I do it because when I start writing a movie, I have an audience in my head. When I start cutting together a movie and we're having these conversations, me, my director, my other producer, I know what the joke is. I'm just going, nah, that's gonna offend. I hear the ooh. I don't mind going ooh, but is there a big ha afterward? Because ooh means they're listening. It's a touchy subject.
Yes.
But if you hit them with a good joke afterward, there's nothing better.
It makes it worse.
Yeah.
You can save a joke on the editing room.
Oh yeah.
Or
sometimes, if a bad joke is a bad joke, it's just gonna be a bad joke. Even sometimes a joke isn't working because you didn't set it up right. Okay. So there's a joke, a simple one we had, which was the car, when Christian steals the car. It wasn't working at first at all. And what happened was we didn't show the shot, the setup shot of the car pulling up, the white guy getting out of the car. Then you see Christian come out the building and sneakily get in the car, the white guy talking to the valet, Christian pull off, and him and the valet, what the hell? Because before it was just, he gets in the car and speeds off. Without the setup of the guy pulling up and you seeing that it's his car and he's talking to the valet, and it's not funny and it's unclear. If you have to think about a joke, that's why you have visuals in movies. You have to think about a joke, it's distracting for the audience. So you have to kind of lay it out for them, and then they'll be able to put the math together and go, oh, ha! But if it's too much work and they're thinking, it's hard for them to get to ha.
For the director, for example, I don't know, maybe it's tougher for directing you.
No, I listen to my director. Really? You know, because we have a partnership. So if he has a note for me, I'm quick to go. So what do you think? Him and Rick, and those are my partners. And so I listen, and then they know me. I'm probably gonna give you 2 takes of that, and then I'm gonna go to some strange place. Because for me, I like to have fun, and then in editing, I got choices. If I do just what's on the script, then I'm a slave to the manuscript. I don't want to do that. I want to have takes that's the manuscript, and then I want everybody to play, because then that joke that they said, that's funnier than what we had in the script. Now you can start putting together the best of when you're editing. And
what do you think about as a comedian for the comedy genre in this time, for example, in the film festivals or Academy Awards or whatever? Because I don't buy The Martian as a comedy, for example.
It's not.
Yes, it's not. But for example, 50 Shades or your work is pure slapsticks, pure comedy.
It would never be nominated for any of that.
Why?
I don't know. It used to be.
Like it or not, it doesn't mean that it's better or worse than other films.
Yeah.
It's the main difference.
It's
Maybe
just
I don't
the criteria.
like the film.
It's the people that's judging, the people that, comedy is subjective. I don't make movies. My movies have never been for some of the people. I make movies for the audience that wants to laugh. And I think if you make people laugh, that's the greatest medicine in the world. Academy Awards. When was the last time a comedy won an Academy Award? When was the last time a comedic actor won an Academy Award for a comedy? They should have best comedy. They should have best comedic actor. People look at comedy like we're fools. Sometimes the fool is the smartest person in the room. Yeah. And you have to understand that there's a purpose that we have in terms of laughter and slapstick. And nowadays it's so underappreciated. A guy like Charlie Chaplin could not exist in today's world. And definitely a black Charlie Chaplin, it's hard to exist. Because people are like, oh, that's stupid humor. No, it's not. That man was brilliant. He was a genius. And yet we're not, embracing the culture of comedy because everybody's so, it's so tightwad right now. We live in a very politically correct society, and it's just getting worse. So for me, I feel like a rebel. Like, I don't care about what y'all, and it's not for you. At my movies, if I offend you, it's not for you. It's for those people that understand that I'm erasing lines and color lines by talking about the stuff that people are too scared to say. And whether you like it or whether you don't, I feel good that I at least have the to say it. I was gonna say the joints. I was about to use the courage, the Latin word, the courage, the courage. But I love comedy, and I'm a protector of comedy, and sometimes you gotta be hated in order to be loved. So,
Marlon, thank you very much.
Thank you. Great questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Black.
Please, call me Christian.
Christian.
I hope I answered all your questions.
He certainly did.
Hannah?
Christian. Oh! Oh, good! Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, God, make it stop!
Bueno, gracias por acompañarme. Si te gustó, ¿por qué no seguimos la conversación de cine? Así es de que pícale aquí. Y también te invito a que te inscribas en el canal de este lado. Ya sabes, cualquier comunicación más directa, estas son mis redes sociales. Que estés bien.